I know it was really long for some of you guys, all that bad news that you got out and everything else. So, I actually sent what I sent after everybody kept saying, did you hear this? Did you hear this? Did you see this? And it's okay, because everybody's going to get what they get. Actually, Bama Boy sent me a little thing crying with tears and all that because he ain't got a TNT update. So that's why I sent it out to you guys. It's about how people feel without a TNT update. I'm going to send that out there. A lot of things came out over the weekend, including, I guess, some other gurus and some even so-called gurus, wannabe gurus, are in the news. Probably figured out what I said on Wednesday about the parallel rate being the same. So we did discuss that on Wednesday, I'm pretty sure, and on Friday, even though the news article just came out over the weekend. So we'll see. Is there any good news today? Yes. Even though the budget didn't come out over the weekend, they're saying they're going to vote on it today or tomorrow. Now, that's what the majority of the article said. It's what my guy thinks today or tomorrow. Some articles are still coming out saying this month, which is still true, because today or tomorrow is still this month. So we'll see where it goes. We tweet out the banks did go home over the weekend. They told them to enjoy themselves. Yeah, Bama Bush, okay. He's all right. He's all right, guy. Anyway, they were told to go home, enjoy themselves, not to expect anything as far as the currency over the weekend. Others were told, and we just got not 10 minutes ago from Federal Reserve, they think this is our week. Iraq thinks this is our week. They actually think Tuesday or Wednesday could be our days, but sometimes this week we should get this thing started. Everybody and their grandmother says it's still this month. Everybody. Treasury thinks it's at the end of the month. Now here's our thing. And it makes sense to me because it always has. I told you that. They're not going to tell us 2, 3, 10 days before it happens, and everybody just stops spending currency. Because the country can't go 10 days with nobody spending currency. That just doesn't make sense. We do know on Friday, they shut down their economy because they shut down all the digital currency, right? All the electronic things, all the debit cards, all the international transactions through the debit cards. Nobody could do anything. CBI was still operating. But I don't know, you guys think about it now in today's society. How many people actually use cash every day? I mean, use cash every day. Most of us use a credit card, debit card, or wiring system, right? Wire money every day. Hardly ever. I don't even go buy gas with cash anymore. Go in the store and buy soda, just still use my card at the POS. So imagine what Iraq has done so far. Today's the third day. I know there's no cards, no debit cards, no bank cards, no electronic transactions going on. So, what do we think could be going on? Well, he thinks what I'm being told is slowly resetting the card system. Even though they said they added to the banking system, yeah. Redoing the numbers, Hopefully, whenever they come back live, we will see the new rate. But how many days can they go that way? No electronic system. Oh, they went 50 years with it before, right? Told everybody to use, they used the dollars. Didn't know how to use it. But now that they've shut everything down, trying to force everybody to use the dinar, but they have no lower dinars. So everybody's walking around with a wheelbarrow full of money now. There's no import-export going on. There's no international business going on. Nobody can buy airline tickets. Nobody can send money overseas like they do every day. None of the people in school have access to their money because all their cards have been shut off. How long does that last before it comes back with what we hope to be the real deal, the RV itself? So I'm with them. I'm looking for something to happen this week. I'm looking for Wednesday. If they vote today and tomorrow like they say they're going to do, hopefully the budget goes Wednesday, goes in the Gazette, they make the announcements. So what about the rate? Like I said, CBI has had the rate for 4 months. 4 months. They said between 3.41 and 4.10, I think is what I tell you. Just waiting for the day when they're supposed to pop it out. The budget is saying, again today, they voted everything. I think they still got 4 paragraphs left. $70 was the price per gallon that the budget was built on. Within that budget, something they've never had before, Social Security, retirement checks, everything. Especially, how are they doing all this with no money, without revalued currency? Because you know they have money because they said they had $128 billion in reserves. Oil is selling, what did you just say, $76 today, right where they want it, between 70 and 80, $76. So they're making money. Prominent article again today is point of sale is in full effect 1 June. Full effect. They're using it now in most places, but full effect 1 June. What's today, the 22nd? So that's in, 9 days? 10 days? Because 31? 10 days or less. We will see what we're going to see. I don't think they can keep the market shut down for the next 10 days. So it should be less. Everybody knows it's coming. They know it's coming. We just don't know what day. We know what rate, and we know how to act. So, don't leave anything out, Ray? Don't be depressed. Oh, I know you guys are depressed because you hear it. So, because it didn't happen over the weekend. Because I did say it was a possibility, and not. Because Iraq never does what they say. Even right now, I don't think they're going to do what they say. I think they're going to surprise us and do something different. So, that's all. So, yeah, they did set new regulations for the cars, but they're the same as the old regulations. And it's just a know your customer. It's telling the banks it's their responsibility to follow these rules and regulations. But it was the same as it was before, even though they say it's new regulations, except for the limits. They changed the dollar limits, 300 USD per day, not to exceed 3,000 per month. They're making them the same limits that ours are. Well, how are they going to do that? If theirs is worth less than ours, how are we going to have the same limits that are on our cars? That just doesn't make sense to me. Unless theirs is worth more than the dollar, or the exact same as the dollar. How can they have the same limits? Just like over here, we can spend $300 a day on our car, but over there they can only spend $30. Who does that make sense to? Nobody. Things have changed. All right, Ray, let's get.
Pathfinder says, I know it has been said before. However, I forgot. Do we present the monies by denomination or by date of purchase? I guess they mean at exchange time. I don't know whoever said present it by date of purchase. Banks don't care when you bought it.
I don't even know what that means. So listen.
That's what I'm assuming. Do you give them the currencies based on the date you purchase them or what's on the face amount? I don't know.
You can give them 20 million dinar, and you say, I bought these 3 on Monday and these 3 on Friday, or I bought this 4 10 years ago and this 5 last week. It's going to add up to the same thing. What you're looking for, I think, is more important is, which one you're going to pay taxes on. They said the long-term gain or short-term gain. And as far as I'm concerned, all mine is long-term gain, if that's what it comes down to.
No, it isn't.
Huh?
No, yours is not long-term gain.
Oh, okay. Well, all mine is
you
not
just had some delivered 2 weeks ago.
No, I didn't either.
You did.
Okay. I might have said that 2 weeks ago, but it's not what I'm going to say a week ago. Anyway, I'm just telling you.
Woo.
Guys,
all right.
You guys have to get with your tax people on that. My understanding to this day is there won't be any taxes on the dinar. So, I don't know. I'm not going to get involved in that debate because I got sense enough to say the bank is not going to tell them. He said 50 million was from 10 years ago and 30 million was from last week when they send the document to the IRS. I doubt there's even a line for that. It's just how much was it and how much did you get? And that's all I'm be concerned with. All right. What's next?
All right. Ned now says, do you see a need for our debt ceiling talks and agreement be completed or something agreed before we see the release?
I don't see it, guys, because it doesn't matter. What we're going to do, we get the money either way you look at it. So let's look at it. All right. Republicans want them to write down the debt, take some things off the table. All those things involve, and I'm looking at it in the middle, in all honesty. All those things involve people losing privileges, because they do. They wish them the privilege. And there's people who can't afford not to lose them, but they losing privileges. Right. The Democrats, on the other side, they want to take away some things, and they want to make it up by charging all those who can afford to be charged even more, which is going to be a lot of you, whether you like it or not. So $400,000 above, they want to charge more. Multi-millionaires and above, they want to charge more. So that's going to be all of you on this call, probably. But so it's the first group, because some people only going to have 100,000, 200,000, and it's going to be gone. But they will have enjoyed the moment and then paid the price. I don't think the RV is going to solve either one of those problems. It's going to put more money in there. He's going to be able to write the debt down just like Clinton did, pay some bills, do everything else. But that doesn't help the budget. That just helps the debt itself over his last year or 2 years in office, whatever it may be. That's what that's going to take to write it down. because it's not going to happen the next day or the next week, and Republicans aren't going to be happy because you wrote the debt down. They want the budget to stop going up. Those are two different items that's going to occur from this. So, no, I don't think it holds on that anyway. And remember, just like we're saying, Iraq doesn't care what's going on in Russia or Ukraine. How does that put food on their table? It doesn't. Till they change this rate, bring these businesses in, and change their own economy. Well, Iraq don't care what's going on in the U.S. Republicans, Democrats fighting, or the U.S. is about to default on their bills. How does that help us? We need to pay ours and get our thing done. And I think that's where we're at. We're in the moment, guys. We're in the 10 days, I'm hoping and praying to God, where we need to be for that part to be over with. Nobody's doing the RV for the budget, or they would have did it the last 20 years for the budget. This year is no different. They do what they're doing every single year. And we haven't had the RV yet. So that is not a problem, wasn't it?
I can't believe this keeps coming up. Gleemass says, if you don't have a trust before the exchange meeting, is it better to get one before or after the meeting with the private banker meeting?
Well, Ray said he can't believe it coming up. I guess that means he answer you for the 100th time. But let's see.
You have.
Guys, no. If you don't have one before the meeting, you're surely not going to get one during the meeting. It takes longer than that to write a trust up. And if you're only going to write up a skeleton trust, you can go on the internet and do that yourself right now. Go right on the internet and do it. Trust documents, put the name up there, go to get your federal ID number, and you got a skeleton.
No, Tony, don't support that.
Oh, okay. Well, don't.
All they'll do is get themselves in trouble. You have no need to have a trust before you go do your exchange, people.
Yeah, and that is true. You don't.
Or any kind of trust. You don't need it, period, to go do an exchange, so leave it alone. Learn about it, get it later when it's the best time to do that.
You always transfer everything over to the trust because that's what should happen. All right. But, okay, I'm not supposed to tell you about skeletons. But anyway, yeah, you don't need a trust. All right.
Let's see. Captain Willie says, I'm a bit confused. I understood that there was not a contract rate for the DOM, and now we're being told that there is a $50 million DOM limit for the DOM's contract rate. Would you please clarify this for me?
Yeah, I'll clarify for you. When we started this 20 years ago, because it was 2003, right? God, can you believe it was that long? Oh, my God. Anyways, there was an actual contract between China and the United States to buy dinar from the U.S. citizens because China was not authorized the dinar. They weren't involved in it, so they couldn't participate in it. And their rate was $28.50. That was a contract rate that they were paying out everybody that was supposed to sell it to them. The banks weren't involved. They weren't going to do it. It was just to China. So many people were jumping on board, though, that the banks decided to offer $28.50, which was still the contract rate. And that's why it was called the contract rate, because they matched China and said, we'll offer the $28.50 too for all those who hadn't already signed with the groups. Well, with the DOM, they just came out with a higher rate. There was never a contract between Vietnam or anybody else for the banks. They just decided to offer a higher rate. We just continue to call it a contract rate. Now, are there limitations to those rates? Yes. We gave you the limitations we were told. 20 million, 50 million, that you get the higher rate on. So they could spread it out to more people. It's supposedly why they were limiting how much currency you get the higher rate on. All right? Hopefully that clears it up for you.
Net Global says, what does it signify if we see the budget approved but no change in the exchange rate?
Well, it signifies that they're still waiting for a day to announce a change in the rate. And maybe if it's not Wednesday or not when the budget's approved or when it goes into the Gazette, then maybe it'll be on the 1st of June. That's all I can tell you. Because everybody else thinks it's going. It's live, the rate's there, they've been waiting for a budget, make sure it was there, make sure the government was in place, you know that. And that's the only other thing. Sudani was supposed to make changes to his government, supposed to do it within 6 months, and the U.S. requested that he remove everybody in his government who were part of the mobilization units, the Iranian units, everything else, who they have on the terror list. Because they're telling them some of your government officials that you assigned are on our terrorist list, and we want them removed from the government. He supposedly agreed to it. It's exactly what Maliki and the coordination or framework are fighting, because they're telling him he's letting the U.S. Tell them what to do and who to remove in their government. So that is the only other fight that's left, guys, after this, if it goes to that. But all that's supposed to happen by the 1st of June. But remember, it got delayed. First it was 90 days, then they delayed it 6 months. Well, they say they're going to do it right after they do the budget. He's going to name those 23 names he already had, and then a bunch of others are supposed to come out that he's going to remove. And then it's smooth sailing. So we'll see if that's before the RV or not. Okay, what's next?
All right. Cosmo says, I thought I heard you say we won't be able to send wires for 30 days. Is that over a certain amount or all wires?
I thought I heard a pudding cat. You did hear a pudding cat. Oh, okay, my bad. Hold on. It was wires over 500,000 is what I told you guys. That they didn't want you sending the first 30 days. Wires over 500,000 because they were Homeland Security was going to review them. They need to know who is coming from, who is going to for terrorist actions. There's going to be a lot of money being moved, so you could find yourself caught up if you did. Okay? So be very, very careful. All right, who's next?
Live.
Wait, let me take a before I forget.
Okay.
So, well, I know some of you are worried you have to say it. We'll probably keep a lot of notes. Fed Now starts on the 1st of June. Can you still hear me okay? Fed Now starts on the 1st of June. A lot of people are concerned about Fed Now because they don't know what it is. A lot of people are concerned about the digital currency that's starting on the 1st of July because they don't know what it is. And I'm saying a lot of people, and tomorrow you guys listen, because the average everyday Joe out there don't even have a clue as to what's happening. They don't even have the information. So they're really going to get blind. But on effective 1 June, when Fed Now starts, you know how you go to the bank and you want to wire some money, and they say it'll be done in 2 hours, or, oh, you came after 1 o'clock, so it can't go until tomorrow. So look for them to get it tomorrow morning. All that. Well, all that's gone on the 1st of June. And most banks, or ones that are participating, have already started, like Wells Fargo. So now when you go in the bank, effective the 1st of June, in some banks right now, you'll be able to complete a wire, all the information, or you can do a wire on your phone, or you can do a wire on your laptop, whatever. You complete the wire, and within 10 minutes, the transaction is done. And it's supposed to be even faster than that. Now, I say within 10 minutes, because sometimes the bank will contact you and say, did you do this? Just to make sure. And you say, yeah, boom, just like that. The wire is done. No more waiting. No more saying the bank got to send it to the Fed. The Fed has to verify it. That's why it takes 2 hours to get it. It's all going to be almost instant. And any transfer that you make, if you guys do electronic banking right now, but sometimes you do a transfer even to each other, just a bank transfer, PayPal transfer, a wire transfer, a Venmo transfer, and it takes a while to get there. Well, starting the 1st of June, all those are supposed to be instant. That's the difference. Now, not only is it supposed to be almost instant, I should say that, but it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So now we're not Friday afternoon saying, man, I didn't get to do that wire. Now I got to wait till Monday, so the guy probably won't get it till Tuesday. No. You're going online to your banking. You're going to do that wire. You're going to have it. If you do it on Saturday, you're going to have it in 10 minutes. If you do it on Sunday, it's in 10 minutes. There's no more waiting for the next banking day or business day. It changes the way U.S. and international wires will be completed in the time frame. So that's what Fed Now is. It's coming on the 1st of June. If we're still here in June, we'll talk about digital currency effective the 1st of July. But we're not going to worry about it until we have to worry about it.
Okay, what is starting on July 1st in the American banking system?
The U.S. digital currency is supposed to start July 1st. Fed Now is supposed to start June 1st.
Okay, great. Now, as regards Fed Now, thanks for clearing that up. That's going to be operational pretty quickly after we get into the banks. So, as a result of that, that could apply very much to the way we would transfer funds. And I have not heard of there being any ceilings on the amount that Fed Now will allow you to transfer. Have you heard whether the ceiling is basically whatever you have on deposit, or is there a ceiling on how much you can transfer in Fed Now?
Okay. First of all, some banks have already started using the system. Already. I've already done transfers within the system myself already. So it's being used. So just nationally, everybody, banks that are involved is supposed to start on the 1st of June. So some banks have been testing it out. Really, they said they found no problems in it so far. So they're already using it. Second of all, there are no restrictions that I know of in doing any wire transfers as long as you have the money. You can wire, which people do, $100 million as long as they have the money. Fed Now doesn't change that, and that wasn't the restriction. I told you guys that we've been advised from Homeland Security that any transactions over $500,000 may not go through as fast as they normally do, because those are the ones they are going to particularly be looking at. It has nothing to do with Fed Now, Federal Reserve, or Treasury. This is a Homeland Security thing that's going to be happening. So they may be slowing those transactions down if they think there's an issue. If the name pops up, if the destination pops up, anything, if it's over $500,000, it may move slower than normal.
Okay, and that then is what you're saying would be in effect for the first 30 days post RV. Is that right?
That's what we were told, yeah.
Okay. And so then my last question is, it's getting almost silly to talk about a particular day at this point when we're approaching the end of the month so quickly, but you are the opinion that we should be looking at this, high probability of looking at it starting on Wednesday. Is that right?
That is what I've been told, yes. The high probability of looking at Wednesday.
Good.
Now, if they, after the budget is announced, which was supposed to be Wednesday this time, it could actually go any second.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, guys. As always, wish you a great rest of this day and look forward to the call on Wednesday. Have a great one.
All right, thank you. And again, guys, it could happen simultaneously. When they say, okay, we're going through, we took the vote, we're getting ready to put it in, it's going to be official, and that night, that early morning, the rate could be changed. So we just don't know. All we know is they're both projected to be done in the next 10 days. And again, guys, it could happen simultaneously. When they say, okay, we're going through, we took the vote, we're getting ready to put it in, it's going to be official, and that night, that early morning, the rate could be changed. So we just don't know. All we know is they're both projected to be done in the next 10 days. Okay. Ready?
All right. Yes.
I just
You
want
ready?
to see you still there. Yep.
918. 918, you're on. 918-770. Okay. 865 area code. You are on.
Hey guys, how are you today?
Greetings.
Super fantastic. How you doing?
And we all should be. Absolutely fantastic, Tony. Tony, these rates that are floating around and you're hearing, where are those coming from? I missed that, and forgive me. I was trying to pay attention to the dog too.
I'm getting rates from my Iraq contact. I'm getting rates from my bank contact.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, your rates seem to be the most consistent of anybody I've ever heard, so I was just curious.
Okay.
Tony, now on the budget side, you know, we've been hearing them bannering this thing around so long that I think all of us hate the word budget as a rule. Do you believe that at this point finally they've got this under control and it's truly going to, you know, get passed, or they're going to come up with a last minute wrinkle?
Well, which budget are we talking about? The U.S. budget or the Iraq budget?
Oh, forget the U.S. budget. Those guys couldn't agree to that it was Monday. I'm talking about Iraq. Ray, you can laugh.
Yeah. I think they're saying it down to the last four paragraphs. Now, even though they say that, guys, and it was about some of the new opportunities that are coming in and where they're going to move the money, there are still provinces today in the South that are saying they're going to boycott the vote because they don't think they got their fair share. So everybody else is saying, it's all worked out, we're going to vote. And I don't know how many they need, but those provinces saying they're not going to vote. And I don't know how it's going to affect it, but we'll see. If they get through their four paragraphs today, they could take their vote this evening, they could take it tomorrow, they could take it Wednesday morning.
Was it your understanding, or maybe I misunderstood, you know, about this, that they would have to kind of show the rate before the budget was finalized, or is that not true?
I would think they would adjust the budget to the rate already, So when they come out with the budget, maybe they will have it in there already completed, or they'd have to redo all the numbers. Now, again, they're saying they're redoing the numbers in the electronic system now. That's why they shut off the whole country. Debit cards, credit cards, everything in electronic system. I'm just hoping that that's true. They're saying that's what they're doing. So when it comes back up, it should be the new rate. Well,
yeah, that makes 100% sense why they would shut it down, and I agree with you. You can't shut down a country this, in perpetuity. If you're not doing this in a quick manner, because, like you say, the people can't buy an airplane ticket, they can't go and buy goods at the stores because everything's shut down.
Right.
So we have to be on. I would think we're right on the edge of this thing.
It would make sense to me because right now all they can do is use dinar, and they just built a whole new electronic system, point of sale system, and they told everybody to use this system, and now you shut it down for 3 days.
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, hello, guys.
Greetings.
How are you
Good morning.
today?
I'm
Ray,
super fantastic.
Well, I sure hope Ray had a super fantastic birthday weekend. Did you, Ray?
Yes, ma'am. Sure did. Thank you very much.
He still got a hangover this morning. What are you talking about?
Okay. Well, Tony, you started talking about money wires. So I guess I'll go into that question that I had. When you're moving money around at the bank, what is the best way to move it without really creating, the vicious transaction alarms at the bank? Because we were talking about doing exchanges, let's say for people who didn't have a lot of currency, but a little. And so if you combine that currency, you went in to do the exchange, but you wanted that money to go into their own personal account, and with the limits that the banks, I guess, are offering on transactions per day, what's the best way to do it? I mean, to transfer money from, like, the account that you set up to those accounts, to those individual accounts, because it could be maybe 2 or 3 different individuals that you're going to have to send money to.
All right, let me clarify something real quick. First of all, just so you guys know, Ray don't drink. So I've actually never, ever seen him have a drink in 64 years that I can remember. I've never seen him have a drink of alcohol, and I've never seen him smoke a cigarette or anything else, to tell you the truth. So he's a little weird in my family. But anyway, I wanted to clear that up. No, yeah, him and my sister are just alike. So me and my brother, we from the other side. Okay.
Wow.
So look, the next thing is, guys, there is no way in, you know what I would say, that I would go in with a group of people, try to get an exchange done, and it all be in my name. That's going to be a problem, first of all. And then I got to separate it between 2, 3, 10 people and send all of them each of theirs, because nobody's going to agree on how much they should have got. Oh, then they took the tax, they took the fee. I didn't pay but 5% of the fee, and he needs to pay 50% of the fee, and blah, 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 which I wouldn't get involved in. On top of that, now if all the money's in my name, and I put it in the bank, and I start sending it out, I got to see, does the IRS look like I'm giving each one of them money, and now I have to pay the gift tax? Or they have to pay the gift tax? Or somebody is paying that because they didn't get it put in their own account? Even if I got a banker to agree to give us all the rates, the same rate, there's no way I would put that money in my account. Now, how do you do it? You're going to have to wire, let's do all at the same bank. You do an interbank transfer, and it's done. which I would insist, first of all, interbank transfer. So we just click, and they can do it. There shouldn't be any transfer fees or anything else. But the legality of it all, as far as gifts, taxes, all that, who do it, that's going to be on you. And if one person gets upset and feel like they weren't treated right, and you guys are talking about you got 10 million each or 5 million each or 3 million each, and he got 500,000, as little as that, he goes to a lawyer. Any lawyer is going to take his case. Any lawyer, because they know somebody's going to pay the bill. One of you are going to pay the bill. So I wouldn't even get involved in it. That's my opinion. Okay?
And so if a person just had one currency note, I guess your suggestion is you just go to the bank and cash it in on your own.
That's what they should do. Just go cash it in. I mean, it's not going to make a difference, right? One currency note.
I mean, well, yeah, but I'm saying if you just put that note with all of the money that you have, you could get probably a higher rate than them walking in. If, say, per se, I had 10 million,
somebody has 100,000. Listen, somebody has 100,000, and you have 10 million, right? You want to go in and say, "Give me your 100,000 note. I'm gonna get you 28.50 for it." Right, so I'm gonna get you 2.8 million for your 100,000, or for your 1 million, right? Because I got 50 million, and then you're gonna give them the 28 million, right?
Right.
Okay, then that leaves us right where I started at. Who pays the gift tax on that? Who pays the fees on that? Who says it's right?
And if you got that worked out where they have agreed that we'll take care of any taxes or any fees out of our portion of the money, then I'm just trying to see if that would work.
And it might work. You just going to have to ask somebody other than me, because I can't advise you on that, because I would never do it.
Okay. I was just trying to find out what is the best way to transfer money around in the
bank. Transfer it to the bank. You're doing the transaction, have them open another account, and then there's no question about it. The bank knows they put it in your account, so they're putting it over there. The only time it's questionable when you're shifting it to a separate bank or a different bank.
Oh, okay. And Ray, when we're looking into like investment financial institutions who can help you put together, like the investment portfolios, and they pretty much say that they can help you earn at least, I guess, a 12% return on those portfolios for 5 years. Is that kind of standard, a reasonable percentage, or not?
What percent?
Well, that was just, if they say they can yield you a 12% for 5 years, is that pretty standard on those portfolios?
I don't know if it's standard or not.
Oh, okay, but I
no.
wanted that reasonable amount.
But somebody negotiated with who had over $300 million. That don't mean everybody else is going to get 12%, guys. Again, we just talked about last week, most institutions just this month started offering 4%. So we don't know what's going to happen with this 12, 15, 20%. But now that they are, I would definitely ask for it without a doubt.
Okay. Because I was just saying, when they write it up like that in their proposals, when you're talking to them, would that be reasonable amount? But okay, I understand what you're saying when you say we need to negotiate. And then my last question.
Why are you looking for anything reasonable in the first place? You shouldn't be expecting anything reasonable unless you don't have a whole lot of money.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I want the roof is going to be the goal, but I was just reading through. I'm just looking at some firms, and I was just going through, their information, and I just saw that listed as.
Oh, well, forget their information, because their information is not going to be what you want. That's what they want to feed to you. So whatever their information is, you automatically know to ask more than that. Double it.
Right. Yeah, depending on how much.
Way down.
Okay. Yeah.
See, that's what I would do if I were you.
We do know on Friday they shut down their economy because they shut down all the digital currency, right? All the electronic things, all the debit cards, all the international transactions through the debit cards. Nobody could do anything. CBI was still operating. But I don't know, you guys think about it now in today's society. How many people actually use cash every day? I mean, use cash every day. Most of us use a credit card, debit card, or a wiring system, right? Wire money every day. Hardly ever. I don't even go buy gas with cash anymore. Go in the store and buy soda, just still use my card at the POS. So imagine what Iraq has done so far. Today's the third day. I know there's no cards, no debit cards, no bank cards, no electronic transactions going on. So, what do we think could be going on? Well, he thinks what I'm being told is slowly resetting the card system. Even though they said they added to the banking system, redoing the numbers. Hopefully, whenever they come back live, we will see the new rate. But how many days can they go that way? No electronic system. Oh, they went 50 years with it before, right? Told everybody to use they used the dollars, didn't know how to use it. But now that they've shut everything down, trying to force everybody to use the dinar, but there are no lower dinars. So everybody's walking around with a wheelbarrow full of money now. There's no import-export going on. There's no international business going on. Nobody can buy airline tickets. Nobody can send money overseas like they do every day. None of the people in school have access to their money because all their cards have been shut off. How long does that last before it comes back with what we hope to be the real deal, the RV itself? So I'm with them. I'm looking for something to happen this week. I'm looking for Wednesday. If they vote today and tomorrow like they say they're going to do, hopefully the budget goes Wednesday, goes in the Gazette, they make the announcements. So what about the rate? Like I said, CBI has had the rate for 4 months. 4 months. They said between 3.41 and 4.10, I think is what I tell you. Just waiting for the day when they're supposed to pop it out. The budget is saying, again today, they voted everything. I think they still got 4 paragraphs left. $70 was the price per gallon that the budget was built on. Within that budget, something they've never had before, Social Security, retirement checks, everything. Especially, how are they doing all this with no money, without revalued currency? Because we know they have money because they said they had $128 billion in reserves. Oil is selling, what did you just say, $76 today, right where they want it, between 70 and 80, $76. So they're making money. Prominent article again today is point of sale is in full effect 1 June. Full effect. They're using it now in most places, but full effect 1 June. What's today, the 22nd? So that's in, 9 days? 10 days, because 31, 10 days or less. We will see what we're going to see. I don't think they can keep the market shut down for the next 10 days. So it should be less. Everybody knows it's coming. They know it's coming. We just don't know what day. We know what rate, and we know how to act. So, don't leave anything out, Ray? Don't be depressed. Oh, I know you guys are depressed because you hear it. So, because it didn't happen over the weekend, because this day was a possibility, and not. Because Iraq never does what they say. Even right now, I don't think they're going to do what they say. I think they're going to surprise us and do something different. So, that's all. So, yeah, they did set new regulations for the cars, but they're the same as the old regulations. And it's just a know your customer. It's telling the banks it's their responsibility to follow these rules and regulations. But it was the same as it was before, even though they say it's new regulations, except for the limits. They changed the dollar limits, 300 USD per day, not to exceed 3,000 per month. They're making them the same limits that ours are. Well, how are they going to do that? If theirs is worth less than ours, how are we going to have the same limits that are on our cars? That just doesn't make sense to me. Unless theirs is worth more than the dollar, or the exact same as the dollar. How can they have the same limits? Just like over here, we can spend $300 a day on our car, but over there they can only spend $30. Who does that make sense to? Nobody. Things have changed. All right, Ray, let's get.
Hey, Ray, Tony.
Hi.
Looking for.
Hey, how you doing?
All right. Hey, I'm looking at the rates for, and I'm looking at the caps with that. How would you suggest getting those around? Would you give it to another family member, or what would you do exactly?
Oh, you mean getting around those rates above and beyond?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not advising you guys on what to do. I'm
Understand
telling
that
you
100%.
I would probably do, but I'm not telling you what to do in any shape, form, or fashion. Okay? So,
Okay.
first of all, I would negotiate for the max, all I could get. Second of all, I would say, depending on how much I have, well, if the system, because you're going to have to put it in the system for me, but you guys won't accept $28.50, he will then accept $28 because we're going to go through it. I'm telling you, because it's below the max. He said, give me a time frame. Even again, he said, no, we got to go from $28.50 back down to $4.50. I can look him straight in his face and say, well, that ain't never going to happen. So give me my $28.50, and then I'm going to do 4 separate trusts with 4 other people, and you give each one of them. Because I don't have to transfer it like I was telling her later. It's not somebody else's money because they're going to be all my trusts. Anyway, I don't have to say that to them. And we're going to negotiate now $28.50. We could have did one account if you just gave me $26 or $25, but you dropped down to $4.50. We're definitely not doing that. So there are ways to still consult without having 20 people's name on or somebody else that you're going to have to fight for. Okay?
Okay.
Now, here's the other thing. You got to negotiate. You got to be able to look that guy in the eye and say, you want 40, 50% of this, right? Do you want 40, 50% of $100 million or 40, 50% of $400 million? How are we going to do that?
Okay.
Since I know you're getting a commission off of it. Is that the part you want me? Or if it's $100 million, you're getting 40, 50% off $400 million. I might at least 70% for a 5-year period of time. Now we're negotiating. We're talking back and forth for that higher rate. Maybe not the 28.50 because there's a limit, but there's no limit on the 27, 26, 25. However, we decide to break it down. But what we're not doing is going back to $4.50. That's not going to happen.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right.
All right. Take care.
Thanks.
All right, sir. We'll close it out.
Wait. Don't start the music yet. I'm never going to quit early. Hey, listen, guys.
I'm not quitting early.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. We just not staying late.
Oh, okay. We done gone through this for years and years. There's been so many people, so many opportunities, and I don't want anybody to miss out on anything. But it does look like we're down to the last 10 days, God willing, and I sure hope He is willing to let this thing be over. So I want everybody to be here. I want everybody to stay here. I want everybody to get the information together because we rolled out and did this long. So in the last 10 days, see yourself, please be involved in the email so you can get it when we do our first hour, 2 hours of this information, and everybody can go. But even if you're not, I want to make this clear, even if you're not, Ray is going to put it out later, but there are other people out there I'm sure you can get it from. There are other people out there who get information. I wouldn't rely on a whole lot after the information that it went, because some of them throughout the years have said the craziest mess I ever heard in my life, or gave out the craziest advice I ever heard in my life. And please do not do that. Some of the crazy, or the restrictions that they're telling you. You got to have a trust. You got to be part of their group. You got to have this and that. You don't have to do anything but go to the bank and exchange your currency. Okay? There are people out there. There was a guy over the weekend. I don't know if you guys saw it. Ray, I don't know if you saw it or not. He posted some information and said, Tony and Ray, you're too slow. Y'all not keeping up, blah, blah, blah. And I went back. And I said, well, you're announcing something that I announced last Wednesday and Friday about the parallel rate being the same. And he would have said it too. So that's not the part. Because anybody say what they want, do what they want. But I saw it, and he's trying to get everybody to follow him on Facebook and Instagram and that. Guys, throughout the years, 20 years been here, people have always tried to throw my name out there or throw Ray's name out there, try to get followers or clickbait or clicks so they can get paid. And I'll just tell you guys to be careful. Not just right here at the end, but especially afterwards and you have all this money. Be careful. You guys didn't have information, weren't advised you for the last 20 years, don't know what to do. And more importantly, that guy was going to send to him, well, we're too slow. Why are you even listening to our call? That's the part I didn't get. And I know he's listening, he wouldn't have said, Tony Ray, you're too slow. Then go get your own information and be able to do that. But for you guys, I'm saying the same thing. I want us all to be here and do everything we can do. But if you're not, there's some other people out there. Just be careful. That's all. I mean, still try to remember the things that we've talked about for the last 20 years, how to put your money to work before you start spending it, how to safeguard your money, how to build a legacy for you and your family. Do those things. And don't ever, I'm telling you guys, ever let anybody rush you into anything. If somebody say, hey, man, you need to do it now. You need to send the money now. It has to happen in the next hour. I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, or 99 out of 100, you're going to come out better if you say, okay, I'll see you on the next one. Okay, I'll skip this one. Because if it's that urgent, that important, I'm pretty sure it's not going to turn out the way they said. Okay? Because that's how you get people in there. And I know I've lost enough money behind it. I told you guys before, I don't have losses, even though I lost money. I have lessons, and I have learned my lessons well. I'm telling you, and I hope that I pass some of those lessons on to you or knowledge on to you during the course of this. And I hope we're all here the next 10 days. I hope this thing happens by Wednesday, and I can send it out to everybody, get in the email. I hope we learn something together going forward. So as our family. So that's just a little warning I got to put out there right now, because some of you will be here for the last call, some of you won't. Some of you will get this recording. I mean, if Ray turns it on, because he forgot to turn the last one on again. So I get this recording, and so won't. But the fact of the matter is, we've come this far, and you've done it by working smarter, not harder, by preparing for what's going to happen instead of just listening to some idiots out there tell you afterwards, you got to do this, or you got to have my trust to go to this location or go here. Now, use your official numbers. When I tell you that there are people in the business, the banking business, who are warning their family that there's going to be some false prophets out there who are ready right now, as soon as this happens, to give you 800 numbers to call, say, don't call them, go to this location, go to this person, just bag up your money, I'll take it in. You're going to get all kind of offers. Just try to be true to yourself and your family. Take care of your business. Again, we're going to be here for those first 10 days, depending on when they do it. So during those first 10 days, we'll be here and try and pass along as much as we can and get as many people as we can through it. Definitely without a doubt, whatever the banks want me to let you know, we're going to post it. And hopefully, again, it's a link. And I've been saying it for the last 5-6 years that I can post where they can go and say, this is everything you need to know. And you can get it straight from them. And my job is just to get the link out to you, because that's the best way for it to work. So anyway, all right, it's all good news. Let's see what happens by Wednesday. If there is something, there was Iraq that called me. Well, I said I got to take this call, but I missed him. I don't know when he's going to call me back. But I'm going to see what's going on, and hopefully I'll tweet something out to you guys later. All right, so do what I'm going to do. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be super fantastic while you're doing it, and share the super fantastic. All right, Ray.